I like it. It's good. It protects my ears very well.
Yeah, it's better. That's better.
How are you doing?
I'm doing
how are
good.
you, how are you doing,
I'm
Mr.
working really
Baranes?
hard. I must break the Zoom. I'm working on a new innovation. I don't know if
Yeah.
you noticed when
Hmm?
Draman was talking, I was clicking here to see I'm controlling his screen from my screen.
Hmm.
See that? You know, if you
I,
open, I'm going to give you a training, David.
yeah.
Today it's the formal last session, but this
Hmm.
will never end because we're going to turn
Yeah.
to a club. Once a month or once every other month, I will give you a lecture. The next, I want to make one lecture to train you how to
Hmm.
use the internet for managers,
Hmm. Hmm.
technology for managers, I call it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I hope within a couple of weeks I finish.
Hmm.
You won't use a Zoom, okay?
Yeah.
And you can have a conference call without a Zoom, only Academy City technology. Doesn't cost you
Hmm.
anything,
That's good.
you know? And the beautiful here, another thing,
That will.
I built up here
Hmm.
a whiteboard. You see it
Yeah.
in my screen? I think I showed that to you last time. But it will be a
Yeah.
video instead of me using the Zoom video.
Hmm.
You'll see my screen and I control your screen, but we'll talk about it some other time.
Yeah.
Langasa was talking about he needs somebody help for his white web page.
Hmm.
And then as he was speaking, I was thinking out loud, why don't we make a web page, a Uganda town clerks? And all
Yeah.
these towns will have the same web page. And when you click on the tab, it goes to your own town. Whatever is in common, that will be, or that's one. Second, you will have a place you can log in. You can manage your own town for many things. But I'm just thinking out loud, we need to check what exists already before we think about ideas. What do you say?
No, that would be fantastic. Just wait to. Can't wait to start it. It's good.
You know, those students within a couple months will be able to run it, the whole thing.
Hmm.
And that will be the first present we will give to the member of the town clerks.
Okay.
It won't cost anything to build it up. We just
Hmm.
try to find a way how to finance their education. But that's a different topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not really that expensive.
That's good.
We will start a new group, by the way. January 1st, we're starting a new group. Those guys will study certificate 2, and we're starting
Hmm.
certificate 1 for an extra group. So the number of the
Hmm.
students will start going.
Okay.
Yo, how are you?
No, I'm not in office.
Where are you? Vacation?
Yeah, I've started. I'm going for. I'm in Christmas now. I've started Christmas.
Ah, that's right, couple days.
Eh?
We have postponed the lecture after Christmas, not to bother you.
Yeah, sure, man. We need this all week, and bothered. We need it up to Sunday.
That's true. It's very important.
It's a whole
Usually
hot
people
year.
go from a couple days before Christmas until after the New Year. That's in
Oh yes.
Chicago. In Israel, there's no Christmas, nothing. So I
What
always used
happened?
to be in Chicago this time of the year. But this year I couldn't because of the corona.
Corona. Yeah.
I don't have a problem to go. When I come back, they put me now in Israel. When you come back, you have to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. You
Ah.
cannot stay in your home even. What am I
No,
going
but
to
that
do
has
in
been
2 weeks?
resolved by testing. If you test 72 hours, everything is okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it has been a good journey, Dr. Baranet.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the lectures. The objective of this course is to unite,
Yeah.
and now to start. Now is the beginning. We're finishing stage number 1, I call it. And we want to start stage number 2. It's to get things done.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's start. I wanna.
Okay, this is one of my favorite topics. A lot of topics are, but this is really one of them. I put several things that I think that are really good, and I think make Israel to be Israel. Without them, Israel wouldn't be Israel. And first of all, just a little geography. Israel is such a small country. I think it's 1/10 of Uganda, isn't it, Charles? I think Uganda is about 10 or 12 times bigger than Israel. From land-wise. It is very long. The beautiful part, the north side, is gorgeous. It's all mountains, green, everything. The south is a total desert. So in such a small country, you got a desert and you got mountains, it's beautiful. On the left side, you got the Mediterranean, which is gorgeous. We have a small lake on the north called the Sea of Galilee, in the Jordan River, going up to the Dead Sea. And so anything you're really looking for in a country, you have it in such a small place, okay? But what makes Israel to be Israel? We talked about that I'm going to talk about technology, I'm going to talk about a lot of things. But I believe, and I will continue, I think I would like to add something to what Raman have said. And, you know, I was myself in the Israeli army. Wow, more than 40 years ago. I'm a fighting.
That's good.
Okay, I used to be a communication officer in the Israeli army in a fighting unit. It's a special unit called Shakir. And I never forget my commander, what he said. He said, if you don't want anyone to hurt you, I repeat it, if you don't want anyone to hurt you, you better be strong. Because if you're weak, everybody will find a reason why to hit you. So you have to be strong. And I think that's what really Israel is spending so much. No surprise, we have one of the best Air Force, okay? And when we look at those planes, I look at them, we were always the best in the past, and we want to be the best also in the future. And what do you think the new guys that go into the army now looking for? It always used to be a pilot. It still is. But there is something that even more than being a pilot. It's, you know, if you look at the past, and in a minute I'll get back to that, you know, we are such a small country, but we have a nuclear plant, which is amazing. How many countries in the world has a nuclear weapon? Almost no one. But that's the nuclear of yesterday. It's like those planes are of today and yesterday. What is the future? I happen to be teaching I have a lot of students in the army even today. And really beautiful to see what they think. I'm going to show you a short video. I'm not going to show you anything about the Israeli army, not too much. So I will refrain from talking, but I just give you the concept. What the best brain student looking for jobs in the army when they get into the army. But I will show you a video, you can see it on YouTube.
Pilots directed almost 3,000
Can you hear it?
strikes last year. We're super proud.
Are you hearing it?
It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. inside. Just like any mobile device these days,
Look at that.
cameras and sensors, just like the phone and social media apps, facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of This is how it works.
Super.
Penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim. Let's watch
Hello?
make the decision.
How are you?
Now trust me. These
Yeah, I'm fine. Two things. That order, did you manage to get?
now that is an airstrike.
Hmm.
One of the major products.
Ambrose, just switch off your sound.
Buildings, cars, trains, evade bullets.
Hello?
Any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped.
Hmm.
Now, I said this was big because we are thinking big.
Hmm.
Look at that.
A $25 million order now buys enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist lines. Shows the results.
Okay, I will stop it here. Well, that's the nuclear of tomorrow. Literally, you can program such a little things and it can run after you until it kills you. You can hide. It will stay in the ground, it can recharge itself, and when it finds you, it kills you. Scary. It sounds
This is terrible.
like, but it's real. By the way, it's real. I have 2 kids now going to the army, the Israeli army. Both of them have finished their undergraduate before with the high school. So they are about 18, 19 years old. The reason they finish, one of them is a computer scientist, one of them is mathematician. That's what the Israeli army are looking for now. They are not looking for fighters anymore. They are looking for the brain. To build up those kind of things, those belongs to the past. It's beautiful, no questions, okay? But this is really what's going to lead, if you have a real, what we just saw here, we're really going to be the future. And that's what, I think what makes Israel so special. We don't step and wait for tomorrow to tell us, we decide what tomorrow will be. If you are strong, you can do everything. If you are weak, you barely have power to take the food and put it in your mouth. And the choice is that not only that, you want to be so strong, you put food for others even. Okay? So that's what the young generations are really spending. So that's really what I think makes Israel special. But more than that, now let's go into the spiritual. So point number 1, be strong. And I think that's what we did in Israel. The second one, we were blessed. It's really a present from God. We have one of the most important cities in the world. I don't think many will argue, okay? It's a place for the Christian, it's a place for the Muslim, it's a place for the Jewish, okay? And in a minute, I will show you another surprise we have in Israel. Those are the 3 that we all know, okay? and all religious have attached to that special city. So if I look at the Christians, I mean, I hope when you come to Israel, no, I'm not hoping. I'm going to take you, you want or you don't want. I will take you to visit in the church. Because I used to have, by the way, many years ago, a Catholic girlfriend. And that's one of the places that was the first time I went to the church. And I say, any Christian that doesn't go to this church has to be stupid. You waste your life and you don't go at least once in your lifetime, you must be stupid. So this is the spiritual part. And what I love is that we have those three religions in such a small place. You will be amazed how small. Once I took a tour, by the way, this is the one in Nazareth. And there you have also the Church of St. John. And believe it or not, although I'm Jewish, I know too much even about Christianity. Okay? Because honestly, I don't think there is a difference between the two, but that's for discussion. Okay? After all, don't forget, Jesus Christ was Jewish. Am I right, David?
Jesus was a Jewish.
Christian. He was Jewish. David, am I right?
Yeah, you are. He was a Jewish.
He was Jewish. And not only Jewish, he was a good one. He was a very good Jewish. He was very, I followed up. I read about him so much. I studied about him so much. And history is really interesting. I mean, this is really amazing topic. But for me, I'm very happy to live in a country that we have this spirituality. Place for the Christian. Nazareth is also a very important city. Okay. You have the Basilica Church, very important. This is really a nice place to visit. This area, I think every Christian must come and see Nazareth in Jerusalem from a religious point of view only. Okay, but there's so many other things. Okay, here we have the Muslim side, the mosque. Okay, and here we have the Jewish. And you know, I've been once in a tour in Jerusalem. And the guide have said a sentence which sounds like crazy, but I think it's very true. He said, it's so crowded, there is so much energy in this city that if somebody might move his hand in the wrong direction, it will bring the Third World War, because it's so important to so many people, and immediately all the emotion get confused, okay? When you take a wrong move, okay, if the Jewish will go close to the mosque, it can provoke. Whatever, you have to be so careful. Fortunately, the mayor of Jerusalem, for many years, he was elected like almost 20 or 25 years, but people worshiped him. It was really good. And he knew how to keep the balance, and he made a lot of rules to make sure that all the parties will not interact with each other. Unfortunately, recently, there is some problem in the mosque, the Muslim mosque, which I think has to be resolved. I think everybody should be respected for his own freedom to religious. Okay, if we're talking about Jerusalem, we're going a little bit south. There's a place called Metzada. This is very interesting. When you know, the Roman destroyed the temple, the Jewish temple, about 1,000 people have escaped to the desert, close to the Dead Sea, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and they lived there about 3 years. If you go, it's a beautiful place to visit. How they lived, how they collected the water, how they made agriculture from nothing. And the Roman couldn't really climb until eventually the Roman decided to go up, and they killed themselves. And now it became to be a very special place. If you go to be a fighter in a special unit, usually I went there 40 years ago, you make a ceremony, you walk all the way up, and then they make a ceremony, and then you say that it will never fall again. So it's kind of to make you a really good soldiers, even today. And then from there, you go about 15 minutes down, you go to the lowest place in the earth. It's a beautiful tourist area. It's the only place you can float on the water and read a newspaper, by the way. I have a picture of myself. It's so salty, it's the most salty lake on the earth. But what I like about the Dead Sea, many things, many things beside that one, okay? First of all, it's the lowest place. Second, it's really dead. There's no fish. You can fish all day, you won't get anything because it's so salty. But in the Dead Sea, there's a lot of life. You can put mud, you can put stuff that are very healthy. If you have any disease, people coming from Europe, coming from so many, if you have skin, I go there now, I have some skin problem. I put those mud on my body. It's really help. Actually, it works. Okay? You can buy those bags, they sell them some places, but there's nothing better than just, it's about an hour and a half drive from my home. It's so close. And it's one of my favorite places. If we talk about metaphor, it's amazing. The place that is so dead, so salty, only clean water are coming to there. The Jordan River, starting from the north in the Sea of Galilee, it's pure best water to drink. There is a lot of wells of water that are all clean. Still, the sea is dead. It's amazing. I think it's amazing phenomenon. But it's, so I love this place. This is one of my favorite. By the way, it was nominated to be one of the 7 best places to visit, okay? Then let's go to modern. You know, this is really like God gave us. This is what we created, Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, you can say it is the Manhattan of Israel. I think it's even past Manhattan. It's, you see everything, but we have something beautiful. Tel Aviv is right on the Mediterranean. So you enjoy the beaches, are beautiful. You have, of course, the high rise, all of the places, and a really beautiful city. Me, young Daniel, okay, to the young Daniel Opio, that's a place you want to live as a bachelor. But not too long because you can't find a wife there. If you want to get married, you better go to the village. There you find a better wife, okay? So that's a different topic. I will give a different lecture on that.
Point taken.
Okay? But Tel Aviv, it's also known one of the best smart city, by the way. I didn't write it for nothing. There's so many activities of smart cities. I myself work with the mayor, the last one, Huldai, on several projects in the city itself. Israel itself considered as a startup nation. You see, we really moved from the conventional army, and what the connections. See, what happened to a child, I mean, I call them a child, 18 years old, 19 years old kid, finish high school. If they are smart, they finish college at the same time. They get to the army, they work on the highest level of technology, they get out, everybody jump on them. Honestly, they're making about $20,000 a month. You heard me right. They get out of the army at the age of about 24. Everybody jump all over them. The starting salary, $20,000 a month. Okay? Why? He go to the army at the age of 18, 19. He stay, usually in the army, you're supposed to serve for 2.5 years, but they usually serve 4.5. They put 2 more years. In the middle, they get such experience on everything you can think about it. Even outside of the army, you can see those kind of systems. He gets out of the army with 4.5 years of experience. He's an officer. They usually turn to be also an officers. and they come to the market. They are the best you can get. So everybody start stealing them. By the way, the reason I put here the picture of Check Point, it is the biggest company in the world, not only in Israel, in the world, for cyber security. The hardest topic you can think about it. The stuff we saw with the drone before, it's all artificial intelligence. It's also known as machine learning. By the way, in Academy City, we're teaching a course in machine learning. Raman is going to carry this course. I'm going to teach it with my son, Hanoch, in Ivory Coast. Eventually, we'll teach also our student in Uganda as well. It's really how to use artificial intelligence in machine learning. Later on, when they get to a high level, we talk about something called deep learning, but that's a really hard one. There's many things. Check Point, check it out. You have it in your business, you don't even know. But everywhere in the world, they're using them. Okay? All the Wi-Fi, security of Wi-Fi, everything is checked. This Conky, everybody using this Conky, it's an Israeli invention. Everybody using Google Map or Waze is an Israeli invention. By the way, Waze came before a Google Map. So in fact, Google have purchased Waze and they turn it to be a Google Map. So if you're using Google Map, you're really using Waze, which is an Israeli invention. And there's so many of them, so many of them. No surprise, the 2020 Global Wireless Summit was in Tel Aviv, okay? It was just recently, I was there, amazing, beautiful. And here you have a Center for Innovation and also Center for Innovation for young guys. So Israel is really turned to a high-tech country. Now, if we want to talk about another one, let's go and jump a little bit. This is Tel Aviv, by the way, from the side. Let's look at, this is Haifa, sorry. This is Haifa. This is the Bay of Haifa. It's a beautiful city. I teach at the university. The university is on the mountain. So you see, it's so beautiful, okay? This is another 4 religions. I don't know how many of you know the Baha religions.
We do.
It's big, big one. The biggest place, the biggest temple is in Haifa.
The Baha'i.
The Baha temple. I don't know whoever been in the Haifa, most likely went to visit. I think, Charles, did you have a chance when you were in Israel? David, have you seen Baha?
No, we didn't come to Baha'i Temple in Haifa. We went to.
Yeah, when you come, I will take you. I will take you. All the places in this, by the way, you're not noticing. This is really your trip to Israel. Okay. Another thing, talking about, this is finished recently. We have a cable going from the sea to the mountain that goes directly to University of Haifa. Gorgeous, it really is. Haifa, it's close to the sea, on the mountains, beautiful, amazing. Now another city, if you like vacation, excellent place for vacation. It is a tourist. This is in the south side. Let me go to the map again. It's right down here. Right down here. It's not really that far from my hometown. It's about 5 hours drive. From the top to here, it's about 7 or 8 hours. My hometown, Netanya, is right north of Tel Aviv, right here. So Eilat is a beautiful place for vacation. If you like scuba diving, you have a lot to see under the water. The nightlife is beautiful like Vegas. And that's really like one of the hottest resorts. And you can't finish without talking about food. One thing about Israel, it's people came to Israel from all over the world, okay? So we have people from all over the world, so you can find any type you can think. But 3 types that you will see, people talk about them, it's called shakshuka, by the way. I, as a student, love to eat it because it's so easy to prepare and fast. You put tomato sauce, and then you put eggs, and some stuff, and then you're done. The other one called falafel and hummus, and the last one is called shawarma. So this is really the most popular, but there's so many. You have even Ethiopian, Chinese, you name it. We have people from all over the world, and Jewish came from all over the world. We have a big population from East Africa. We have population came from East Europe. We have population come from Yemen, from all over the place. You can think about Ethiopia, everywhere. So we have almost any kind of cuisine you can think about it. And this is my last slide. And this is really what I hope this course will let us continue. Everybody knows that Israel is very good in agriculture. Everybody knows that Israel innovative, producing agricultural equipment. But really is Israel is going and moving to the right side. It's the future. If children, okay, were able to do the left side today, we're training the children to do the right side. The summit that we're showing here, really 2020, okay, a summit of cyber and all the new technologies just carried out a couple months ago, okay? I think what makes a strong country, a good country, a healthy country, it is really A, to be strong, B, study very hard. Am I repeating it all the time, Brenda? Study hard. Every time
Yes.
I said it. Is that right?
Yes, you are always repeating it.
that's
True.
very right.
All the time. Study, study, study. Okay?
Is it studying hard or studying
Yesterday,
slow?
if yesterday you needed big muscles to get a good job, today you need a big muscles in your brain in order to get a job. So, because you can't really get, it's changed so much. What you can do with your brain, and I said it, I think when I talked last session, you know, one excellent employee could be better than 100 very good ones. I didn't say bad ones. I said very good ones. One excellent employee, it's better than 100 very good ones because it's enough for one good invention, okay? It's better than just doing the same things with 100 very good ones. You need to come up with good ideas, new ideas, try them. And I can say, and I think Eran said it in his lecture, or Yaniv, I don't remember, and I can repeat it. Honestly, only 1 out of 10 succeed in startups. So don't be discouraged if you fail. Literally do not. The beauty of life is after you fail 10 times, you still stand up and you still try a new one. Eventually, you will make it. And why? It's very simple. You learn from your mistakes, and every time you do it again, you do it better. I never forget my first software, and I'm looking at what I'm doing now. It's just amazing. I think I made every mistake possible in my life. Okay? And honestly, and it's a true statement, most of the money I made in my life, okay, I did it in 3 weeks. Literally, if I worked only those 3 weeks, I didn't need to work all my life. But it's not really a true statement. The true statement is I was be able to make a lot of money in 3 weeks because I educated myself all those years. So now just imagine, you know, I'm very proud, you know, I'm proud of 2 things, about my students and I'm proud about my kids. Because after I'm gone, that's all what I leave after me. And when I see that I can transfer my knowledge and then take it to a higher level, you know, there's a statement in Hebrew says a person never jealous in his son or his student. when a student is better than his teacher, both are happy. The teacher is happy and the student is happy. Because the student is better than his teacher, this is good. Okay? Anybody know the story about Maxwell, the one that invented the electromagnetic field, all the mathematics of electromagnetic field? You heard about Maxwell, you know? The teachers in high school. Is that right? Daniel, did you study it? Brenda, did you study it in high school?
That's true.
Maxwell, you must know it. If you didn't, the homework for tomorrow, read about it tonight. But you most likely don't know who was his teacher.
Probably Edison.
No. And that's the beauty about this story. His name was Beryl. Beryl was expert in dynamic of water. If you flow water, a lot of things, still his equation, they use it when they build a dam. And what it has to do, water with electromagnetic. Believe it or not, Maxwell have learned all the equations of dynamics of water and applied it to electromagnetic. So you can say the student was a higher level than the professor. And that was a good reason for both of them to smile. So if one day I see you, Michael, Brenda, and the next student that's going to come, and they will come, with God willing, I'll be very happy to see you doing better things than I do. Okay, and I think this is a good way to conclude our formal sessions of the town clerks or advanced town clerks. My objective was to try to turn it to a club that will actually do something that nobody has done or didn't give it a chance to do in Uganda. I think it can work. Now I hope the cooperation between town clerks and young and motivated kids, I call you kids, Michael, don't get insulted, okay? I call my children also kids. They're older than you, okay? I mean young, okay? And
Okay.
let's turn the big unemployment of young guys to a resource, a useful resource. And the most beautiful things about this resource, when we are on the right side, see, we can export agricultural stuff, equipment, but we can export this one without leaving the country through the internet. That's give a big advantage to Uganda. Okay, now it's all yours. Daniel, how about you start? Say, what do you think? How do we go from here?
I was just still appreciating what the Israelis have done as I ponder where to go next. Before I answer that question, I just have one for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We are already studying about governance, peacekeeping this afternoon, this evening. I wanted to know where the Israelis lie. Are they peacekeepers, warmongers, or indifferent?
I didn't hear the last sentence, I apologize.
Are they indifferent? Are they peacekeepers or warmongers, the Israelis?
Let me tell you what I really think. There is a statement in the biblical study says, be very careful with poor people because the Bible is being learned the best by poor people. I repeat that. It's a very strong statement.
Which book?
Be very careful. Be very careful when you treat poor people. Because the only one that can study the Bible very well, it's poor people. Amazing sentence. What happened to the Jewish people in the history? Everybody was after them. They never stopped studying the Bible. They kept studying and kept studying and kept studying. And when you're poor, you need to survive. And when you have to survive and you see the lion in front of you, you fight him up to the end. But then you develop a skill and the lion will run away from you instead of you having to fight him. Now, Israel, I think what happened over the years, we had a fight until the country was established. We had to fight for survival. Don't forget, we're really an island. Everyone around us is an enemy. We don't really have neighbors. You know, you have Kenya. You don't have a war with Kenya. You have Tanzania on the other side. You don't have a war with Tanzania. You have Sudan. You don't have a war with Sudan. You have Congo. You don't in a war with Congo. Okay? You still do business. We don't have anyone.
Oh God.
We don't have Lebanon. We have Syria. We have Jordan. We have Egypt. And we have the sea. So the statement is, or we win the war, or we end up dying in the sea. That's what I think that gave the power to the people to be strong. If you saw my first slides today, I focus on being strong. Be strong, you must, otherwise, okay? And it doesn't matter if you're poor. Poor, it's in the brain. There is no poor people. It's in the brain. It's a culture. It's a culture to be poor. And you have to get out of it. My parents lived in a tent 17 years when they came to Israel. A tent, not even a permanent housing or anything. A tent, which can fly with the wind. But I never felt poor. I thought we were rich. You know? And then we moved to a permanent housing, and I made a decision that I'm going to be something. So I worked so hard to be, you know, finishing high school. And that's a good story for you, Michael, and all the other kids. You know, I grew up in a place that the high school wasn't good enough. So you know what I did?
No?
I was going to the other neighborhood, and I knew it's a better neighborhood. And I looked at the books that they're teaching in their school. I used to go and work, take the money, and go buy their books and study them. And that's the way I passed all the other exams. Okay, you have to be innovative. You have to be determined. You can do it. If I did it, everybody can do it.
Yes.
And then you keep going. You never stop. Never stop. Keep going because the world you are living in is so beautiful. I wish I had another 200 years to live. I wouldn't stop even 1 minute to study. You are living in an era. The technology is amazing. It's amazing. Okay? We talked about certain things, but look at what's happening in medicine, biology, chemistry. It's beautiful. You are young. By the age of 25, here is the test. Daniel Christopher is hearing me.
Sure.
Yes.
Michael, you are less than 20, is that right? Or around 20?
Around
If you
20.
don't drive a BMW in Uganda, at the age of 25, you are a failure.
Okay, sir.
Hello, Amos.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure. Who is it, by the way? Turn on the Draman. I hear your voice. But turn on the video. Yeah. Draman is why, hold a second, Draman, I must say that. I know Draman, as I said, more than 7 years now, isn't it, Draman? When you were in Haifa?
In 2013, 14.
Yeah, something like that. I must say that really Draman is really doing something very special in Ivory Coast. And I really hope that in Uganda we get to the same level and then we cooperate. That's a remark. Go ahead, Raman.
Okay. I just want to ask 3 questions. Okay, the first question, I saw your presentation, but you didn't talk about the water. You know, Israel is, as my experience in Israel, you don't have underground water in Israel. And it was really amazing for me to see that in this region, and Israel is one of the only country which is green.
It's true.
And you don't have water. You share water with Jordan and that country, Lebanon. So, and as I'm thinking about conflict. Water is seen to be one of the resources, conflict resources for next generation. How Israel is managing water and how this water is coming from, because I know you don't have underground water. That is the first question. The second question is the space.
Hold on, I will answer that one. Israel has the best technology to purify salted water. Eilat, it's the town I mentioned before, the tourist city on the south side of Israel. They're using only purified water in the last 4 years, meaning they don't really need any resources, no rain, no anything. They just take the water out of the Red Sea, they're purifying them. If you drink the water there, it's the cleanest you ever get. Israel is #1 in the world in purifying water. That solved the problem of water. Now we're exporting the knowledge for other countries. You're right. Otherwise, you know, there's not enough water. See, most of the water, how is the water system more or less works? We get a lot of snow and rain in the north. It gets to the Galilee Sea. From the Galilee Sea through the Jordan River, goes all the way to the Dead Sea. And there, the water that coming from the Galilee Sea, it's supposed to be split between Jordan and Israel. Okay, and the problem solved because we are not even dependent anymore on how much water we have in the Sea of Galilee. My hometown also using purified to whatever they need. So that's amazing. That's the last 4 years. It's relatively new.
Okay. The second question is the population and the land of Israel.
Yeah.
We know that Israel is a really small land. And one of the issues you will be having for the coming years is the population is growing. And your land is not, the land is not growing, theoretically it's not growing. And how are you going to plan to handle all those people in this small land, because the population will be growing? What do you have any plan?
Okay, now I will put my economist hat on my head. The conclusion, without answering your question, you should come and invest in buying real estate in Israel, because the demand is just going to grow and the land is not growing. And what happened to the price? I came to Israel back after being in Chicago 21 years, about 15 years ago. Okay? I bought few pieces of real estate in Israel. Okay? From one of them, only from one of them, all my children can live nicely because the price more than tripled. And it's not going to go down. So you're right, you're hitting on the real important issue. What's going to happen? The prices are going to go up. Some of them will go out to the periphery, which is happening. The railroad, was the last project of the last few governments. developing the railroad, so the peripheria from distance will get closer in commuting. So people, the youngest usually moving out of the big cities. You know, to rent an apartment in Tel Aviv, which is 1 bedroom, 1 living room, can cost you about $3,000. It's crazy. It's getting like Manhattan, even worse than a Manhattan. The building to the skies, we're getting much more high rise. Then what it does, you have a transportation problem.
So
Even if you're building up underground parking, okay, you can't really handle the transportation out and into the city.
So my point was basically in the conflict issue between Israel and the Palestinian and the West Bank. Is it one of the issue of that conflict? Is I trying to have enough land?
I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. They might present it as such. I really think it has to do with religious region. The people going and trying to settleize in the West Bank because they believe in the Bible that God have promised the Jewish people both sides of the Jordan River. So if they had a choice, they would even take Jordan as well. When the King David was a king, Israel has all Jordan was part of Israel. Not only the West Bank. You got it? I think the real issue is religious. It's not lack of land. We have enough land for the Jewish people, at least for the next 50 years. They can build up in so many. They won't be in Tel Aviv. They will be in other places, so the value always will go up. But I don't think that the settlement has to do with lack of land as much as religious people believe that they have an opportunity to fulfill what the Bible said, that the Jewish people should have all that land. Now, I'm not going to express my opinion about that. I just will say I love peace, even if I lose my land.
Okay, the last question is space. Going to the space, the upper space, I mean.
Say
so
again?
the last question was, my last question is the upper space. Now we are seeing China in USA, in Russia going to the moon, March, and you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm talking about the space, going to the moon.
To remove what?
To the moon, the moon.
To the moon.
To Mars. Yeah, and I think
desire, you know,
I think
there is a peace with Dubai now, and everybody went to Dubai. And I'll be honest with you, that was my answer. I rather to go to Uganda and not to Dubai.
No, what I'm saying, I'm talking about the moon.
What am I to see in the moon? What am I going to see? What am I going to see in Dubai? Okay, beside big building, which I have seen enough in Shanghai, in Manhattan, everywhere in the world. So I will see one or two bigger one, big deal. But when I go to Uganda, I see the weather, I see the green, I see the animal, I see the waterfall, okay, monsoon fall, I fall in love. I see the birds. I don't think they have birds in Dubai, okay? So why should I go to the moon when I don't think I will see even a tree?
Yeah, what I'm saying that
I wouldn't invest. I know Elon Musk does, but I don't think he's going to succeed with it.
Yeah, but Israel has sent one of the satellites in the moon. I think last.
And it failed.
Yeah, it failed, but Netanyahu was saying that Israel is already in the moon because it's entered in the moon space. Just fell, I think, 200 miles away from it to land. So, because the moon is now one of the what must be the target for the next coming years? People are now trying to find a place there, maybe to live there. So I don't know why Israel is such a small country. You are not interested in having a land in the moon?
I will answer it indirectly. I really will answer it indirectly. I think the sending satellites to the moon by Israel, it was an exercise. So to make our scientists a little better trained. I don't think we have any objective on doing anything on the moon. In fact, there was an article by NASA that everything that needs to be explored about the moon, it's already have been done. It was really mostly donated, the money was donated by a very rich Jewish person living in the US. By the way, it's true, you can check it out. When they tried to do, they thought to try it again and ask him for the money to donate about $100 million. He donated it for poverty. Big part of the money got even to Uganda. You can check it out. Okay, he decided, okay, those guys have learned enough, and there's other things in life to do. Okay, and he didn't. If you see when it collapsed, Benjamin Netanyahu was asking the donor if he'd be willing to put half of the money and the state would put half. He said, okay, but then he changed his mind, and I agree with him. I don't think there was any point to try it again. They have learned the lessons, they got the technology, they learned how to do sophisticated stuff, move on. There's nothing to look in the moon. Are you lacking land in Ivory Coast? Is there a lack of land?
No.
No, why should I go to the moon? Is there a lack of land in Uganda?
Yes.
Am I right, Daniel? Is that land, Christopher?
There is no, we have enough land for sure.
Exactly. Why should we go to the moon? Not take the money, train those kids to help us to deliver food to the people in an efficient way.
Sure.
To grow it in a more efficient way so nobody will go hungry. That's what we should do now. And then when we're strong, then we think about the moon. The moon, the only things that you need to do with the moon is take your girlfriend and enjoy the light of the moon and take a champagne with you. That's the only things you need from the moon. For now. When you're strong enough and you come with the BMW, take your girlfriend, then you start thinking what to do with the moon. Am I right, Michael?
That's right.
Every girl in the village would go jump all over you. But she was wrong. She should jump over you because you were smart enough to be able to do it yourself. Not because of the BMW. The BMW is a signal. Wow.
Okay.
Because you can have a BMW by stealing it.
Or renting it.
Or renting it, by renting it. No. You want to be able to make it. Because when you made it, that means you are high quality. And believe me from experience of having BMW, okay? Believe me, I don't really give a damn on the car. What was really interesting was to be able to create enough things that you can be free. Enjoy the process of learning. Enjoy the process of learning.
Yeah.
That's the key to the success. Now, David, you must tell me how we go from here.
Okay. Look, it's going to be sad that we are finished, but that's it. I would request.
David. Yeah. Give me a real answer, not a politician answer.
What I'm saying, It's going to be sad. We are coming to an end. Certainly, it was a good club.
Put the camera, please, up. I don't see your face. I apologize. Sorry to come.
Sorry.
Yeah, now I see.
Are you seeing me?
Yeah.
I have said it's always end is always very interesting. When things are getting better, we are finishing, you know. But going forward, I would also second the club, creating the club. A club would be very important for us and our colleagues, the students, to continue getting in touch once a month, if possible. I will really second that, so that you can raise some good topics, we can discuss some topics to keep touch, to keep in the loop. That would be very, very welcome if it's possible, because you cannot imagine that this interaction on these topics has not left us as we started. We are now looking at the global view. We are looking at better things than we had. So certainly that 1 month interaction, if possible, it may not be this month, next month or something, but let's not totally disappear. That would be very sad. Then number 2, I would recommend, if possible, Doctor, to get some certificate for this course, some certificate from
Definitely.
academicity.
Definitely. You're
Such
going to
that-
get a diploma, not a certificate.
Thank you. Such that we get that diploma,
Yeah,
and it will be very important for us.
definitely.
Otherwise, I want to thank you and all the lecturers who are smart, who took us through. So the club must be created, Dr. Barames. Create the club. We are there, all the students and others who would want to join us, so that we keep this exchange, the academia, the knowledge, the experience, to make us better managers going forward. Thank you.
Excellent.
And in
I was
addition,
thinking about, I will talk to Charles as well, and I talk to you, and you guys talk between yourself. How can we get this cycle? I gave a little spark. You know, I gave a little spark by having Michael, having Brenda, having Daniel, we have other kids that we couldn't really, I didn't want to bring too many. Jerome, which is excellent, Mildred, which is excellent. There's others, Jimmy, who is excellent. They really are very good. We have a really good core. And honestly, I'm so really thankful to you guys, the one that participated as a town clerks in this course. You gave another push, okay? By the fact we had this course, it's an achievement. It's all the simplest things to put together. I tried to do my best to get the best lecturer, but we'll get even better when we hit on the real stuff you need. But we had to start somewhere, okay? I really would love to see the more town clerks join. Also, doing something for the benefit of everyone. We talked about it last time. Daniel referred to that. Ambrose talked about it last time. Let's utilize that synergy that the town clerk maybe can support to some extent the education of this team. And this team will work for the town clerk as outside concern. They will not be your employee, will find out the right formula. So they get education and they also pay for it for doing good stuff. So they will pay even more, whatever they are. But we'll have to sit and talk about it between ourselves, David, how to do it. And we can find one, Mangasa, I think he had to go, or I don't know if he's still with us, but Mangasa said, he just talked, I'm just mentioning one, but it doesn't mean this is what we need to do. We have to make a decision. A decision you make when you make a list of important topics, and then you make an order. Start for the most important one, and let's we go. He's out doing a web page for all town clerks. He wanted for his own town, and I said, you know what? Those kids can do one for all town clerks. And they can maintain it for all of them, and here I'm recorded. It's my present to the town clerks of the club. You don't have to pay for the maintenance. The only things you will help to educate them so we can pay their tuition. But we can work it out. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah,
You got it?
yeah, we do.
But we can think about it and come up with much better ideas. I'm just talking out loud, whatever it's coming to my mind. I might be wrong. Maybe we need to do it better way. And we have to think about all the implications of it.
Hey, Dr. What I had forgotten, the WhatsApp group must continue to be on.
Say again?
Our WhatsApp group
Yeah.
also must continue to vibrate,
Definitely.
must be there.
I'm going to send you a good morning every week at least.
Oh, great, great.
And I will make a lecture. I'm going definitely, let's say, I would love to see you guys here in Israel.
Yeah,
I would like to come to Uganda something around March. Okay?
mm,
For many reasons. I love Uganda. It's a good vacation. It's a good business for me. It's a good vacation. I don't distinguish between business and vacation anymore. Okay, so for me, it's the same things. I enjoy what I do. So I would love to come and maybe even give a lecture or even give a course. Even whatever you guys tell me, I will do.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you for everyone, anybody.
Charles,
Daniel, Charles, whoever still with us. Michael.
shalom, shalom.
Opio.
Christmas, Amos,
Yeah,
I have to wish you a nice Christmas, though you don't celebrate
I
it.
can't hear you. I apologize.
I was just wishing you a good Christmas.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
I know you may not celebrate.
I usually in Chicago in Christmas. All my Christian friends are in Chicago, but this year I'm in Israel. So,
Okay.
but wish you too and happy, wonderful year to all of you guys. And we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Draman.
Thank you.
Everyone.
2021.
Have a good one.
Good one. Thank you. Thank you. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Answer.